After 82 regular season games, 3 playoff series wins, and now splitting 6 NBA Finals battles, tonight, one champion will be crowned here at the Pregame Center. Along with Josh Calloway, I am Colby Daniels. Game 7 of the NBA Finals with a global spotlight on Oklahoma City. This game is broadcast in 214 countries, and you can argue from a sporting standpoint, the biggest spotlight the state of Oklahoma has ever had. Legends will rise tonight, and heartbreak may live forever. We'll see what happens in a few hours from now. But Josh, this place is already electric here at the Pregame Center as we get ready for history to be made, the 20th ever Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I would say so. You're like a foot from me, and I can barely hear you right now. It quite literally does not get bigger than this. It's one game for an NBA title. Like you said, I think pretty clearly the biggest sporting event ever played in the state of Oklahoma. One game, 48 minutes to crown a champion. You can feel it's been building really since Thursday night, since the Thunder lost, and we knew there was going to be a Game 7. We've been building toward this. People have been waiting all day. I've heard so many people say it's been the longest day of their lives today waiting for this game. We're getting close. It's going to be a scene in here, man, and a huge legacy-defining game for these two teams.
It felt like an eternity just waiting for a pregame to start.
I know.
Right? I mean, the energy inside this building, even before the fans were let in, was off the charts amazing. And I would assume that cheer you hear behind us is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander taking the floor to go through his pregame shoot-around. Before the fans were even inside the building, Josh, this place already just had a buzz that I've never experienced before. We didn't even have, like, the fans cheering. There's just an energy here where everybody knows something great is going to happen tonight. Now, will that ultimately result in something great for the Thunder or the Pacers? That's to be determined, but greatness is going to take place in the Pregame Center.
This day, this game is going to be remembered for these two franchises forever, right? But it's up to them to decide if it's a good memory or a bad memory. So much on the line. Like we said, everything you've done up to this point is kind of irrelevant. SGA said it best. You win this, you get everything. You lose, you get nothing, right? Everything you've accomplished, it all kind of goes by the wayside depending on what happens in this game tonight. It's hard to overstate the stage of it, the magnitude. Everything you work for builds toward a game like this, and we'll find out who's got it best. One game for everything here tonight.
We have had some boos already for TJ McConnell, who came out among
Fairly
the
so.
first Pacers.
Yeah.
So the fans were, I think, anxiously awaiting their opportunity to boo one of the difference makers for Indiana, especially in Game 6 once again. After, I think, the Thunder fan base had digested the complete collapse and no-show, if you will, of Game 6.
Sure.
I think it kind of set in that despite the loss, despite the Thunder not capitalizing on a championship opportunity, the special atmosphere that was going to be at the Pregame Center and potentially the celebration for the Thunder to win it at home, I think overtook maybe any negative feelings for a lot of fans.
Absolutely. I referenced it a few times. Chet said it best after Game 6. Chet Holmgren said, look, every team in the league would sign up for this. One game at home to win a championship. And so I do think that the Thunder fans, that disappointment was real on Thursday night. But Friday morning came around, everyone flipped that switch of saying, hey, we got one game. The Thunder have been really, really good at home throughout these playoffs, throughout the entire season. They haven't lost twice in a row the entire postseason. We got this, right? A mindset of we got one game to go win a championship. Everyone's going to be ready. I think it's going to be as good of an atmosphere as you really could possibly get in an NBA game. We're going to get it tonight. The Thunder are going to try and feed off it and try to get one more win to get over that hump and win a championship.
The Thunder have not lost a game this postseason where they've had more urgency or equal urgency to the opponent, right? I mean, I think in any scenario where they've found themselves having to take a step back in the series, they've responded with one of their best games of the entire postseason. For them to lose a championship, something that hasn't happened this postseason would have to take place tonight. That's losing back-to-back games. Obviously, we're blown out in Game 6 on your home floor. I mean, not even a blowout, but just losing seems like a far-fetched task for the Indiana Pacers, who have been largely outplayed here in the 3 games, Games 1, 2, and 5, despite Indiana stealing the final few minutes of Game 1. There's a lot to be excited about, I think, if you're a Thunder fan, but you cannot take it for granted that Indiana also is in a win-or-go-home scenario. Both teams are either going to experience championship celebrations into the early morning hours of Monday or experience heartbreak that's going to last an entire offseason.
Yeah, I mean, that is really maybe the biggest single key is just kind of who handles the weight of it better, right? It's everything on the line. Obviously, both these teams have won every single gotta-have-it game in the postseason so far, right? I mean, they're here. They're in Game 7 of the finals. But something's got to give. They can't both win tonight. Then the Thunder have had to have it, and to your point, when they've matched the urgency necessary for the moment, they are basically unbeatable. Can they do that tonight? Can they rise to the occasion? They did it against Game 7 against Denver. They did it Game 5 of this series when it felt like they had to have it. They got to do it one more time. Odds are says they will, but it's Game 7 of the finals, so it feels like everything we know, you kind of question, does that carry over into this spot? We're going to find out.
It's already an electric atmosphere inside the Pregame Center. I know around Oklahoma City all day, you could feel the energy in the air. Our own Christina Santiago is over at Scissortail Park, where thousands of Thunder fans have showed up, excited for what might happen tonight. Christina, what's happening over there?
Going on real quick.
So right now the gates are open. There's a couple of fans trickling in with some Thunder gear, some Thunder hats, some SGA jerseys. And I talked to a couple of them and they said that they're super excited for today. You know, today is the day that history will be made. Neither teams have ever won an NBA title, and they're hoping that Oklahoma is able to take that history. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Christina. Everybody here, I think, ready to celebrate a championship. Should be a ton of fun. So, yeah, I mean, I think that just looking at the faces around the building, it's championship or bust. Smiles, I think, positive energy, at least coming from the fan base. I know in Indiana, in Game 6, it was a very timid crowd. I mean, the crowd was not a factor in the game, in the early stages of the game until the team brought them in with some exciting plays, but there was a very cautious type of vibe inside the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Game 6. Not the case here already. It feels like it's a very positive vibe for the Thunder fan base. All right, let's check in with Grant Palmer, who's here at the Pregame Center as fans are making their way into the doors.
Yeah, Colby, I would say things are starting to heat up. You know, we just saw a few minutes ago Rumble on a Segway come down here on this path, and then we saw this huge Thunder caravan, the marching band, coming from across the street from Scissortail Park. And you know, Indiana Pacers fans have all been getting up into our cameras and whatnot, and I think the fan bases are ready for this Game 7. I'm joined here by some Thunder fans, thankfully. And guys, how are y'all feeling about this game going?
Amazing. Thunder's gonna win tonight. Thunder in 7.
Thunder in 7.
Just excited. I just hope the Thunder pull their weight, you know, just win the game.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you guys feeling going into tonight's game?
Well, 10. But, hey, if there's more than 10, infinity.
What about you?
Definite 10. It's a Sunday game. Y'all know the Halliburton thing.
In my opinion, I mean, the planets are aligning. You want a Game 7 at home. We got it. There's really no excuse at this point. We got to execute, right?
Yes, definitely execute, and defense, and then offense will win us championships. Everything will win us championships if we do it right.
Absolutely. We are on the brink. We're so very close. Thunder, let's go get it done. We're ready for this game, Colby. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Grant. I like the Thunder in 7. There's no other option but 7, right? I mean, tonight is it. The winner takes it all. The winner goes home, I think, very heartbroken.
I like 1 to 10 confidence, infinity.
The confidence, infinity. I'm with my man. I mean, I like to see that type of energy as we get closer and closer to tip-off. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere. I think leading up to the game, I think to start the game, the Thunder have been insanely good at home. Record-setting, in fact. 36-6 on the home floor during the regular season. 10-2 on the home floor throughout this entire postseason run. And just to show you how important home court advantage is in the NBA Finals, 19 Game 7s in Finals history. 15-4 are the home teams, Josh.
Yeah, the home crowd, obviously, you know it's going to be a huge leg up. It is historically in the NBA anyway, like you said. The Thunder have been a machine in this place in the postseason. The only 2 times they lost at home, even in those 2, they led the whole way, right? So in every single home game throughout their postseason, literally all of them, they've had the lead, usually double digits, pretty much wire to wire. Twice they let it slip away late, but you know, bottom line, worst case scenario, they're going to be in this game. Like, they're going to likely have the lead. It's going to be up to them to finish it when we get there. But, you know, the Thunder have been so good in this building. This place is going to be on fire. you know that Oklahoma City is going to put their best foot forward tonight. And if they can get off to a good start and get this place really revved up, they're going to have a pretty good shot tonight.
Yesterday here at the Pregame Center at Game 7 Media Day, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the NBA MVP, spoke on just the importance of home court advantage in a series like this.
The crowd is amazing. You're ultimately like in your complete comfort zone. Like the flow of the day doesn't change. You're in your own bed. You have shoot around at your building. You eat your pregame meal from your chef or your whoever. So it's just like it's very comfortable. The whole flow to the day, and then the crowds behind you, they give you energy whether you're up or down or whatever's going on in the night. So it's yeah, it's an advantage. It's fun for sure.
You add all those elements together, and the result, at least in these NBA Finals, has been a really good product for the Thunder 3 times when they've been uncomfortable, I guess, not sleeping in their own bed, not eating the food that their chef makes, and just, you know, all the inconveniences, I guess, of travel. It's obviously looked drastically different in the road games of this series. So if you're a Thunder fan, once again, I know they got blown out in Game 6. Silver lining is Game 7 here at the Pregame Center.
100%. Shai said it best. You're in your comfort zone. You're comfortable. And namely the bench, right? I mean, SGA, J-Dub, those are guys you expect are going to give it to you every single night, whether you're in Oklahoma City or on the road.
That's right.
But those bench players, Aaron Wiggins, Casey Wallace, those role guys have been far, far better in this building. You're going to need that again if you're going to get over that hump and win this series. That's got to make you feel pretty confident if you're the Thunder because you're in your building for those guys.
By the way, if anybody's wondering, I know that Tyrese Halliburton was listed as questionable. He is shooting over Josh's left shoulder right now, and he looks perfectly fine. So I would be shocked.
0% chance he doesn't play.
Zero. Like Game 6, he looks fine, and he is going to be on the court to start Game 7 here tonight. It's winner take all, do or die, championship or bust. Along with Josh Calloway, I am Colby Daniels. Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and we have more coverage from the end zone here at the Pregame Center coming up next. Welcome back to the Pregame Center tonight. It's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The series tied at 3 games apiece. Either the Thunder or the Pacers will become NBA champions and be immortalized in the annals of NBA history. It feels like when you put it in that way, what's at stake tonight? I don't know how these players don't feel an incredible amount of pressure.
I have no idea how, because like you said, this is, no matter what you do the rest of your career, even if the Thunder go on to win 6 titles, you're going to remember this if you don't pick it up, right? You're at home in front of your building. You've had this historic season. SJ won MVP. Like, it's been a dream season for the Thunder in a lot of ways. You're at home, though. Game 7, a series that you were heavily favored in. You let Game 1 get away. Like, you got to find a way tonight. You have to find a way. It'll be remembered forever in a bad way if you don't, in a really, really good way if you do. So much on the line. It's hard to even appreciate it all, honestly, in the moment.
I think you nailed it with Dream Season. And speaking of Dream Season, let's take a look at how all of this was built. All right, we are inching closer to Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Like, it is getting loud in here. The crowd is excited. Thunder fans, smiles on their faces with the promise of what tonight might bring. It could be a championship that is celebrated, I mean, into Monday, without a doubt. I know, stores are getting ready to open with a Thunder win tonight. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now is signing autographs just on the other side of our camera. Fans are going absolutely bananas for what could be the NBA Finals MVP with another incredible performance tonight. Speaking of fans, I know there are still a ton of excited fans over at Scissortail Park, and our own Paige Taylor is on location as Thunder fans potentially wait to celebrate an NBA title.
Well, hey guys, it is definitely a party here. Let me step out of the way so you can see, just how many people are still here. I mean, we've got ticket giveaways. The Thunder girls have performed. The Thunder drummers have performed. There's people of all ages here. There's kids getting their face painted. There was a parade earlier. There's still one more ticket giveaway for those hopefuls that, are wanting to get into the game. And, people are being reminded that if the Thunder win, and we are hopeful that they will, that there will be a celebration here tonight too. So, it's the pre-party and the post-party. Things are just getting started here. Reporting live in Scissortail Park, I'm Paige Taylor.
Thanks, Paige. Man, SGA just walked through our side of the court, signing autographs for fans right now. In fact, he's about 20 feet from us, signing autographs for fans. As he's walking through, it is just complete madness. And then he stops and starts signing autographs, and it's almost like a hush came over the entire crowd. We've heard people reference the SGA aura. I think we just experienced it.
He just struck like 1,000 people at once with the aura, like
lightning, where they're all like losing their minds, and then it was just like a hush where he's here, he's signing.
It's like, oh man, he's right there.
The aura was just witnessed firsthand, but it's one of the cool things about him. I know that there are maybe a lot of NBA fans who buy into the whole narrative of free throws and all that nonsense that unfortunately has become part of the story with these NBA Finals, but you couldn't find a more humble superstar in the entire NBA that does everything in his power to not only, I think, give the fans something to cheer for, but obviously giving his own personal time every single game. I mean, this doesn't just happen now. This is every single game. 82 games a year into the postseason. It's Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is signing autographs.
I know. I'm thinking, obviously, it's incredible he does this for every game. How is he not, stressed out of his mind? I would be like, I got to go sit in a room and try to calm down. He's out here just signing autographs like it's a Tuesday night in January. It's what makes him different, I guess.
It's been pretty incredible. Speaking of the two superstars really in this series for OKC, SGA has been great. J-Dub, I feel like we're going to go over keys of the game in the final segment, but J-Dub is as important to the Thunder winning tonight, I think, is SGA.
Oh, man, he's had a great series. Jalen Williams, obviously, that Game 5 performance will be remembered forever. Certainly a lot more so if they win tonight. He's been incredible, even so much that there's been a conversation like, Thunder win, is he Finals MVP? And I think it's probably a combo. He's had a tremendous series. If they're going to do it tonight, they need both guys to be at their best. No doubt about that. They've been incredible, both of them. J-Dub's had an awesome series. They need one more out of him to get the job done.
Speaking of J-Dub, we will hear from him on the Game 7 vibes on the other side of the break. Tonight, it's a championship on the line. Winner take all, Thunder Pacers, Game 7. Along with Josh Calloway, I am Colby Daniels. We're back in a moment from the NBA Finals at the Pregame Center. All right, welcome back one final time from the floor here at the Paycom Center. Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the Thunder and the Pacers will battle it out for NBA immortality. We talked in the last segment about Finals MVP, about the two superstars for the Thunder, SGA and J-Dub, how great they've been in this series. I want to listen to J-Dub for a moment because Game 7s are big, right? I mean, there's nothing like a Game 7 in sports. There's a saying, the best two words in sports are...
Right. Game 7.
Game 7. For an NBA championship, it's even bigger.
Yeah.
So I know that J-Dub hasn't been in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals, but he was asked about the Game 7 against Denver and what the feeling was like for a Game 7.
The swings of a game, I feel like in a Game 7 feel so much louder than they do in any other game, except maybe apart from like an elimination game. I feel like tomorrow they'll feel a little different too, just because obviously it's the last game of the season. This is for the championship. So I think it's just what Game 7 taught me for Denver is just like the swings. Like 3 feels like you're down 10. You know what I mean? 1 feels like you're down 5. Like that's just like the swing of the game, and what's going on feels much larger. So it's just kind of about like honing in your emotion, like understanding the state of the game is big for Game 7.
I can only imagine what the emotions are like for the players in a Game 7 where, again, every bucket, he said a 5-point lead feels like 10, a 1-point lead feels like whatever. I mean, every bucket feels like you're either picking up momentum, you're losing momentum, something could swing at any point in time. You're so dialed into every possession. That's what makes, I think, the drama of a Game 7 great. I can't imagine what it's like to go through that. Luckily for this Thunder team, I mean, they are so good at, I think, looking at the big picture and staying goal-oriented instead of allowing emotions to get the better of them. But look, they're only human at the same time. This is Game 7 of the NBA Finals with a championship within your reach.
Yeah, everything is magnified in a spot like this. You know, the first quarter, 6-7 point burst, and you know that could be the difference later. I mean, who knows? You know, you got to find a way to keep momentum on your side as much as possible. It's basketball. The Pacers are as pesky of a team as there is in the league. They're not going to go away. They're going to go on their runs. But if you're the Thunder, you got to find a way to mitigate that and to flip it quickly, not let a 6-7 minute stretch kind of snowball on you and get you away, put you in a hole, or let your lead evaporate, whatever it may be. So everything is crucial. It's foot on the gas for all 48 minutes. Empty the tank. There is no tomorrow. Like, this is it, man. Every possession has to be valued if they're going to find a way to win this thing.
I know we are flushing Game 6, and everybody has moved past it, and we're excited about tonight. As I was standing in Indianapolis, and we're getting ready to head back home and getting ready for Game 7, you know, you have this thought of, like, what could have happened inside that building on whatever night that was. I don't even know my days over the last couple months as this playoff grind has been incredible. But as Thursday night is wrapping up, I'm like, what could have been here? It was a massive disappointment. But there was this feeling of, like, how special is the Paycom Center going to be on Sunday night for a Game 7? We are still over an hour away from tip-off, and this place is magnificent, I must say. Like, it is big game vibes all the way. They always say big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Well, that also could happen in a big-time atmosphere. This is as good as it gets, and we're still over an hour away from tip-off.
It's incredible. It's starting to really fill in. There's people up in Loud City already. I mean, we're still over an hour from tip, like you said. It feels like we're getting close to tipping this thing off with the energy in here right now. The blue out. They're undefeated at home, and the blue out with the blue jerseys. I think that was probably intentional. It's building, man. You can feel it all day. Obviously, all weekend, like I said, it is rocking in here already. It's going to be an all-time atmosphere, I think, in the history of the league tonight.
We called Game 5 an all-time atmosphere. Game 5 was an incredible performance, not only inside this building, but I thought that the crowd made it incredibly special. I think that's going to be the case again tonight. When we went into Game 5, we had keys to the game. Coming off a rough couple games at Indy, and I think Friday night on the End Zone we talked about this as well. You can almost copy and paste.
Repeat it.
The keys to the game going into Game 5 for Game 7. So let's review what those keys were and go over them again, because nearly everything was checked off in Game 5, and it resulted in a big Thunder win.
Yeah, they won in Game 5, so do it again. Turnover battle. You got to find a way to take care of the ball. That killed the Thunder in Game 6, and when they're at their best, defensively, offensively, really as a team, it's when they're turning the opponent over, getting out and running, getting this crowd going. So that's a huge one for me again. The bench, specifically 3 guys in particular, Caruso, Wiggins, Wallace. Between the 3 of them, I need at least 2 guys to have big nights offensively, and they've done that at home in this series. It's been a huge difference. If you can get like 30-ish points between the 3 of them, you're going to be in really good shape. And then slow down the stars. Tyrese Halliburton had a really nice Game 6, maybe his best game of the series. You slow him down and Siakam as best you can, make the bench guys beat you, you're probably going to be okay.
Bench guys have, throughout this playoff run, have been much better at home. I know that there have been some good performances on the road, but collectively, they have been much better at home. In the turnover battle, it's not even close. I mean, the way they take care of the ball at home, outside of a few McConnell plays, versus like Game 6, it's been night and day, so you expect that to be drastically better. They've got to shoot the 3 ball better, which they also have done much better at home.
At home, yeah.
And I would assume nobody ever wants to see another Thunder player attempt a 3 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, because for whatever reason, they cannot shoot in that building, but they have shot much better here at the Paycom Center. Keep SGA fresh. That was one of my big takes, I think, going into Game 5. they have done a good job of that with letting J-Dub run the offense, but I thought SGA was somewhat disrupted in the early stages of Game 6. The physicality that that Andrew Nimhard played him just kind of kept him out of a rhythm. And then you got to match the urgency. They didn't even closely match the urgency in Game 6. They were blown out. Tonight, I think they're going to, because both teams face their season ending versus the reward of winning an NBA championship and immortalizing the Oklahoma City Thunder for all time in the history of the NBA. Josh, final thought on the game and prediction.
Yeah, good start. Going to be huge as well. Get this place going. I think the Thunder have been so good all postseason at home. They haven't lost 2 in a row the entire postseason. I think they get it done. When we're back with the postgame, we're talking about a championship for the Thunder tonight. I think they get it done.
I think in front of an iconic crowd, an iconic atmosphere here at the Paycom Center, much like Games 1, 2, and 5, outside of the close of Game 5, it's going to be a big win for the Thunder. You're going to see them play a much better brand of basketball. It's Game 7 of the NBA Finals along with Josh Calloway. I am Colby Daniels. We'll see you after.